Hello my strange and charmed ones, and welcome back to my channel for another video. Today I want to talk to you guys about the topic of finding focus as a multi-passionate entrepreneur. So this is a topic that is very near and dear to my heart because I do consider myself to be a multi-passionate entrepreneur. I'm someone who enjoys a wide variety of different creative endeavors, and I strive to fold them all together into my business. Things from writing and blogging to photography or videography, designing. There are so many different things I'm passionate about, and I've been lucky enough to figure out a way to kind of fold those all together into one business. Now, this is also a really important topic to me because within my Empire Building online business program, I work with a lot of business owners who consider themselves to be multi-passionate entrepreneurs as well. And they're either in a stage of business where they're trying to start their business, or they've already begun their business and they're trying to figure out the next thing they're going to work on. But because they're multi-passionate and they have all these great ideas and all this wonderful vision, they have a hard time focusing on what they need to work on next, what's really going to move the needle, and how they want to unfold the future of their business. So this is something that I deal with personally on a day-to-day basis, not just with myself, but with my clients as well. So I have a little bit, I think, to add to this conversation, and I'm hoping today to give you guys a little bit of advice if you too are watching this and you are someone who considers themselves to be a creative, multi-passionate individual. You've got lots of different strengths and skills and lots of different interests that you could potentially turn into a business, or that you want to add to your already existing business, but you're not sure where to get started, what the next best step would be, or how to choose the next project or the first project that you work on. So the first thing I want to tell you guys about this topic is that if you are in this situation, you're someone who this topic resonates with, I'm going to leave a link down below because later on this month, I'm going to be doing another great free training that's going to be geared around this topic that is specifically tailored to people who are like you and me, who are multi-passionate entrepreneurs. And if you want to hear more about that, go ahead and sign up down below so you're the first to hear about that new training. But in the meantime, what can you do right now? What strategies and what advice can I impart on you to help you get started and get executing? The first thing I want you to do, if you are someone who has a lot of different ideas and you're juggling a lot of ideas and you're trying to determine what to work on first, the first thing I want you to do is go ahead and write down all those ideas. They're no use in your head, so make sure you've got them written down. And once you've written them all down, I want you to go one step further and I want you to write down all the ideas you currently have that pertain to that project or to that product you want to create. Whatever this new endeavor is, I want you to write everything out that you already have thought about. Now, all the plans don't have to be solidified. They don't have to be things you know you want to do, but just different ideas that you've had that pertain to this concept, okay? Because I want you to get it all out of your head and onto paper so we can sort through it. Now, while you're writing out this list of these ideas and kind of putting together the supporting ideas that will go with it, I want you to make sure you pay attention to two things. I want you to be able to identify why it is that you are interested in this project or in this concept specifically. And I want you to identify what your goals are for this project. What is it going to bring to your business? What is it going to do for you? Is this a new revenue opportunity? Is this a new promotional opportunity? How does this fit into your business? You need to be able to identify those two things. Why are you doing it? Why do you have this idea? Why is it something that speaks to you? And how does it fit in your business? What is its role going to be? These are going to be very important questions that you're going to want to answer because, to be completely honest with you guys, I cannot tell you the amount of times I have had an idea, rushed into working on it, and didn't ask myself these big picture questions ahead of time. And by the time all the work was said and done, I looked at the project that I was working on and said to myself, I don't actually think that this belongs in my business. I don't really see where this fits. It was just something that was an idea I had that I was really obsessed with and I wanted to act on immediately, but I really didn't think it through. I didn't think about its place in my business and why it was important to me. So you want to make sure you have those 2 points clearly outlined for each of the projects that are currently vying for your attention, okay? Next thing I want you to do is I want you to take each one of those projects and I want you to rank them. And I want you to rank them based on some very specific criteria. Number one, I want you to rank them based on which idea is the most fully formed. So what idea actually seems like you've been able to work through a lot of it already? Again, just because you wrote the stuff down does not mean that it is set in stone, but which of these ideas do you think is the most fully formed? Which one do you really think seems like a viable option? So I want you to take however many of those options there are. Let's say you wrote down 5 ideas, and I want you to rank them 1 through 5. 1 being the top idea that's the most fully formed, and 5 being the least formed idea. If you have 3 ideas, if you have 10 ideas, if you have 50 ideas, that's the amount of ranking numbers you're going to use. But the point is, I want you to put them in order. I want you to say which idea is more rounded, more full, something that you could see yourself actually acting on. And if you're someone who has a hard time deciding whether or not an idea is fully formed, go ahead and ask a friend or a loved one or someone that you trust to look through the ideas and ask you which idea they think and how they would rank the ideas. Because sometimes it's hard for us to judge our own ideas, but for other people, it's easy. It's easier to see what really makes more sense. So if you need to use a friend or a colleague or a family member to help you with that, definitely do it. But first, you're going to go ahead and rank those ideas by how fully formed they are. The second ranking I want you guys to do, again, if you've got 5 ideas, this is going to be 1 through 5. I want you to rank the ideas based on which will be the easiest to execute on. So what could you have a quick turnaround time on? What actually, needs the least amount of work? What's something that you could get up and running quickly? I want you to go and think about that, and I want you to rank again 1 to 5 or 1 to 50, whatever you've got. The 1 spot is reserved for the idea that will be the quickest to implement and get into action, and then the last number is the one that's going to take the longest. It'll be the hardest to implement, the most complicated. That's how I want you to do the second rank. Now, the third thing I want you to rank each idea for is how profitable or how easy it would be for you to generate income from this idea. So, a lot of times we work on projects. I work on projects all the time. Some of them are projects that I know are going to bring in an income, and I've got like a projected or targeted income that I think is going to come, or revenue that's going to come from that project. And then sometimes I work on projects that I know are just things that are for supporting purposes or for promotional purposes that may not directly influence my revenue. I want you to take that idea and I want you to rank all of your existing ideas into which ones would be the most easy to make money from and which ones are going to be the hardest to make money from. Again, number 1 is going to be the one that you can see the most money, or you'll have the easiest time making money from. And then whatever your last rank number is, that's the one that's going to be really hard to make money, or you don't see a lot of money coming in from that idea. Okay, so once you have your ideas ranked by these 3 criteria, what I want you to do is sit down and I want you to look at them and start identifying which ones seem to be the best ideas. You'll probably have some ideas there on your list that maybe have more than one or have a lot of lower numbers that are, representing them. You can go ahead, and if you wanted to do like a chart for this, you could just tally up all of the totals of the numbers across each of the criteria, and then whatever item or whatever project has the lowest number, you could consider going with that, or the projects that have the lowest numbers, you can maybe pick amongst those. And if that's not something that happens, if you are looking at these numbers and nothing really stands out to be the best idea based on this number ranking, I want you to first and foremost then go ahead and see which ideas maybe do not rank well at all. If you don't have ideas that are kind of naturally floating to the top, you definitely have ideas that are kind of falling to the bottom. So it'll make it easier for you to choose if you eliminate options, okay? So don't be afraid to eliminate options either. If you can't pick, it'll be easier for you to eliminate rather than choose from a bunch of options. And then from there, you guys, you really just need to make your best judgment on what you're going to choose. Hopefully the ranking was able to help you decide what seems like a more viable idea to start with. But at the end of the day, this is your business, this is your passion. You need to do a gut check and decide which idea is the one you're gonna progress with. And just because you either, cross something off your list as something that doesn't seem feasible now, or you decide not to do one project over another, it doesn't mean you're never gonna do those projects. It just means that you're gonna focus on one first. And when it comes to this idea of finding focus as a multi-passionate entrepreneur, I know from personal experience, it's hard to stay focused on one thing, but you need to really choose one thing at a time. This does not mean you can't do everything you want to do. It just means you can't do everything at one time. And if you are someone that's struggling with this idea of getting your business off the ground or getting your next big project underway for your business, if this is something you're having a hard time with, you're not able to execute, most likely it's because you don't have focus on one project at a time. So hopefully these tips will help to get you started and find your focus for your first or next big business project as a multi-passionate entrepreneur. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I just want to remind you, I'm going to leave a link down below where you can sign up to be one of the first to hear about my upcoming free training that'll be happening later this month. So if you're interested in this topic, if what I said resonated with you and you want to know more, you want to learn more, and you want to work with me to learn more, definitely get your name on that list. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and feel free to leave me any questions down in the comments down below. And of course, if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button for more awesome videos by me. And until next time, bye-bye!